and I'm from Kealakehe High School. So who here has seen Hidden Figures? Before it came out, no one knew about them. Or these women had a huge part of NASA and are its backbone. It's not that they weren't there, but that they weren't represented and they are hidden. Women in STEM are increasing, but it's not that they suddenly became smarter, but leaders are trying to change society. Now in the 21st century, there seems to be more support for women in technology. Yet while women hold about 50% of all jobs in the workforce, they hold less than 25% of STEM jobs. Why is that? And 50% of women already working in STEM fields will eventually leave because of hostile work environments. This is a statistic from the Harvard Business Review. Women are definitely underrepresented in STEM careers throughout our society, and I believe now is the time for dynamic change and a chance for us to take advantage of the opportunities that we as women have before us for the next generation of young pioneers. I look towards the next generation for this opportunity to make the biggest impact. I need to change the perception of science and math as masculine fields by providing girls with female role models and giving them hands-on experience. In my freshman year of high school, I joined the Kealakehe robotics program, and throughout the 3 years I've been there, I've observed a couple of interesting things. One, all of my mentors have been male individuals. Two, there has never been a girl driver. And three, there has only ever been one girl programmer out of 8 that I know of. And on my freshman year trip to First Robotics Worlds, only 3 of the 13 people were girls. Seeing this firsthand, I know this is real. But it is also true. We are definitely making it better. This year there are more girls than guys on our team. And we had our first girl programmer and our first girl team captain. And also since 6th grade, I've only ever had women teachers for my STEM curriculars, which is kind of mind-blowing. So, yay. The thing though is that people are not conscious about it. This year, I was part of the pit crew in our robotics team where we fixed a robot after matches. And although there was supposedly 2 out of the 7 people to be girls, I almost always found myself being the only one. Julia, who was the other person, would go to the stands where the team was scouting because she didn't feel like she could help. But she was probably much more able than most of the pit team. And this is an example of why the 50% of women leave their STEM careers after 10 years. Towards equal opportunities for women in technology, I have currently helped with GEMS, Girls Exploring Math and Science in Kona for 3 years, as well as help with my robotics team STEM camp for elementary and middle school kids, where this year, with the help of my teacher, we've made a conscious effort to balance the ratio. At these events, we teach them everything about design, learning, coding, and engineering their very own robots, as well as other engaging STEM activities like geometry with tie-dye and dropping an egg from a 3rd-story building. In the beginning of creating my capstone, I knew the issue I wanted to address, but how? Rotating around many options, I thought Maker Faire, STEM Career Day, and settled on an event to connect female science leaders and pursuers from all around Hawaii Island to the youth, and the goal of the camp to excite girls about engineering and technology. and a goal in mentoring was to help spark a lifelong interest in science, engineering, and technology. I hope that many girls will continue to pursue their interest in robotics. I want this to be something that a child remembers for the rest of their life. With the ability to make connections from a young age, they can unleash something they've never known, a newfound obsession, their future careers. But after researching people in STEM careers around the island, I wasn't sure how to get to them. And trying to do this all on my own, I contacted Nelha, but got back an email saying I could be a volunteer intern. I then got approval from Mr. Brown, my robotics teacher, but in the midst of the first robotics competition and our rigorous schedule where I was at robotics at least twice the amount of the time that I was at school, and my mom having to pick me up at 2 a.m. in the morning, and our trips to California and Houston, Texas for the competitions wasn't any help either. You think it's going to be better, but after this, but a huge storm, finals and AP tests, swept me by the feet, and I was at the busiest point probably in my life. Juggling 5 APs and extracurriculars and sports, I didn't want to just put in half of a show. So here I am today. I still have a boiling passion raging inside me, and in my next attempt at this, instead of trying to do it all by myself, I'll reach out to those I know and can trust, find connections, and make this event the best that it can possibly be. My solution starts with the youth, since they are the next generation. Kids have such a value to society because they bring a fresh perspective and create the newest innovations and academic inquiries. A lot of times, something amazing that happened during childhood leads to choices in a child's life that then lead to career choices. My solution is a Science Girls Day, where girls come from schools around my community. By exposing young girls to positive female role models, they have a place to look up to and understand that it is possible. Along with this, I want to make sure that this event promotes minorities, those least exposed to events like this in our community. I want to be able to reach out to those that were never reached, and I want to make sure that each kid that walks in, even if she wasn't interested before, is now inspired and views the fun in science. Finally, if you take away anything from this talk, be aware that it is a problem. To stay conscious and don't underestimate a girl. No matter how slow it may be, change is coming. We are now where we can be. Thank you. Thank you.